Okay, so Holland's gone. I mean, not like gone, but her half of the apartment is a ghost town. It has that weird, hollow echo now, you know. Her stupid, cheerful yellow armchair is missing, and the whole place just feels gray. And honestly, all I did was take down a post-it note from the fridge. That's it. A single, bright pink, obnoxious little square that was screaming at me every time I went to get milk. How does that? A piece of paper. End with your best friend, your roommate of 4 years, packing her entire life into boxes while you're at work and just vanishing. It makes no sense. She left a note. A short, ridiculously formal one on the kitchen counter. It said my actions were the final straw. Can you believe that? The final straw. What does that even mean? It was a prank, a dumb, maybe slightly passive-aggressive joke that went too far. That's all. She's making it sound like I committed some kind of, I don't know, unforgivable sin. Like I'm some monster. The final straw implies there was a whole pile of other straws before it, right? What straws? Forgetting to buy toilet paper once. Leaving my mug in the sink. God, she's so dramatic. And now I'm just here in this stupidly quiet apartment, pacing back and forth and talking to myself, I guess. Or to you. I just keep staring at the fridge door, at the clean, empty spot where that note used to be. It's like a hole in the universe. I keep replaying it in my head like, how did we get here? From a post-it note? Seriously? What would you do? You get it, right? It's insane. It's not just me, is it? This is a massive overreaction. It has to be. I mean, looking back, okay, fine. Maybe there were other things, little things. But they weren't straws, they were just life. You know, life when you live with someone. For 4 years, Holland was just there, like the electricity or the running water. You just assume it's always going to be on. She was the one who kept track of the bills. I'd get a text on the 28th of every month. Hey, rent and utilities are $850 this month. Venmo me when you can. That smiley face, God. It was always there. I'd usually forget, and a few days later she'd have to remind me, like, super awkwardly. Hey, Raina, just a gentle nudge about the rent. The landlord is getting a little antsy. I always paid, eventually. It wasn't a big deal. It's not like I was trying to stiff her. I'm just busy. My job is demanding, she knew that. She was the one who remembered everything. My mom's birthday, the anniversary of my horrible breakup with Patrick, the fact that I only like that specific brand of oat milk that's always sold out. She'd just show up with it. They had one left, thought of you, she'd say, and put it in the fridge. Did I ever do that for her? I don't think I even know what her favorite brand of anything is. Is that bad? I mean, I'm just not a details person, you know? My brain doesn't work that way. She was good at that stuff, and I wasn't. We balanced each other out. That's what I thought, anyway. I remember her big presentation last year. The one for her promotion. She was a wreck for weeks, practicing in front of the mirror, leaving little motivational notes for herself all over the apartment. The morning of, I was freaking out because I couldn't find my favorite sweater, the gray cashmere one. I was convinced I'd left it at the bar the night before, and I was, like, having a full-blown meltdown. I remember screaming, "This is literally the worst day of my life." Holland just stopped, mid-power pose in the living room, and looked at me. She had this tired look on her face, a look I'm seeing a lot more clearly now. She didn't say anything, just went into my room and pulled the sweater out from under a pile of clothes on my chair. "Here," she said. So quiet. She was late for her own presentation because of my stupid sweater. She got the promotion, thank God, but we never talked about it. I never even said thank you, or sorry. Why would I? She found the sweater. That was the point, right? And it wasn't just that. It was the constant, low-level stuff. She'd clean the whole apartment, and I'd walk in with muddy shoes and not even notice. She'd make a big pot of soup, enough for both of us for a few days, and I'd invite friends over and we'd finish it without saving her any. I see it now, I guess. It's like she was slowly being erased. Her space, her food, her time, it all just got absorbed into my life. She was just Holland being Holland, the background noise of my life, the person who just handled things. I never, not once, thought that the handling might be costing her something. I guess I just thought her batteries were infinite. So, last Tuesday, that's when it all started. Holland comes home from work and she's practically vibrating. You know how she gets when she's excited? Like a golden retriever puppy. She drops her keys on the counter and she's like, "Raina, you are not going to believe this. My boss, Mr. Davies, he invited me to the annual department dinner at the Oak Room." Me, the junior analyst, who's only been there 6 months. The Oak Room. I mean, it's this super fancy, old money steakhouse downtown. The kind of place where the waiters have names like Jeeves and they pull the chair out for you. It's a huge deal. A chance for her to, schmooze with the higher-ups. And I should have been happy for her. I know that. A normal friend would have been like, "Oh my God, Holly, that's amazing. What are you going to wear?" But that's not what came out of my mouth. It was like this cold, slimy thing crawled up my throat. All I could hear was department dinner. A dinner I wasn't invited to. A whole part of her life, this shiny, important work life that had nothing to do with me. It felt like a betrayal. Isn't that stupid? God, it sounds so insane saying it out loud. But it's true. It felt like she was choosing them over me. Like she was building this new world and I wasn't getting a key. So I said, "Oh, so you're just going to leave me here alone all night, then?" Her face just fell. The puppy energy just drained away. "What, Raina, it's a work thing. It's not an open invitation." "Right," I said, and I made sure to put that little edge in my voice. The one she hates. "Of course, I'm sure it'll be super fun. Listening to a bunch of old guys in suits talk about profit margins. Sounds thrilling." I was being a bitch, I knew it, but I couldn't stop. I felt this panic rising in me, this old, familiar terror of being left behind. It was like I was a kid again, watching my dad pack his bags. I just wanted to make her stay. Or if she wouldn't stay, I wanted to make her feel bad for leaving. She left around 7. She looked amazing, honestly. She wore this dark green dress I'd never seen before and had her hair done all nice. She hesitated at the door. "Are you sure you're okay?" she asked. "I'm fine," I snapped, not looking up from my phone. "Go, have fun with your important friends." The door clicked shut, and the silence in the apartment was deafening. I tried to watch a movie, but I couldn't focus. All I could picture was her laughing at some stupid joke one of her colleagues told, clinking glasses, fitting perfectly into this world that didn't include me. My stomach was in knots. This wasn't just about a dinner, It was about everything. It felt like she was outgrowing me. Like I was the training wheels on her bike and she was finally ready to ride off without me. And the thought just broke me. My eyes landed on the fridge. And there it was. The pink post-it note. She'd put it up that morning. It was in her neat, all-caps handwriting, the kind she used for things she absolutely could not forget. It said, "Tomorrow 9 a.m. Send final Nightingale FILES to Mr. Davies. H." The Nightingale Project. I knew what that was. It was her baby. The project she'd been killing herself over for the past 2 months. The one that was going to get her noticed. The one she was presenting at the dinner. And that note, God, it was like a symbol of everything I hated in that moment. It was her future, her success, her escape route. And a disgusting, childish thought slithered into my brain. If I can't be part of your new world, then I'll just pull you back into the old one. I walked over to the fridge. My hand was shaking. I knew it was wrong. A part of my brain, the rational part, was screaming at me, "Don't you dare, Raina. This is insane." But the scared, angry part was so much louder. I needed to remind her. I needed to remind her that her life was still tangled up with mine, that she couldn't just leave me in the dust. I needed to prove that I still had power, that I could still affect her. So I did it. I peeled the note off the glossy white door. The sticky sound it made was obscene in the quiet room. I didn't just throw it away. I crumpled it into a tight, angry little ball, walked over to the kitchen sink where some coffee grounds were still sitting in the drain, and I pushed it deep into the wet, gritty mess. I watched the pink paper turn brown and soggy. For a second, just one sickening second, I felt a surge of triumph. A sick, twisted feeling of being back in control. I had her. She couldn't forget me now. The next morning was ugly. I woke up to the sound of Holland frantically tearing the apartment apart. She was yanking cushions off the couch, shuffling through papers on her desk, her breath coming in short, panicked gasps. "Where is it? Where is it? Oh my God, no, no, no." I walked into the living room, rubbing my eyes, pretending I didn't know. "What's wrong?" Her eyes, wild with panic, locked onto mine. The note, the pink post-it from the fridge, about the Nightingale files, did you see it? Did you move it? And this is the part that makes me sick to my stomach to even think about. I could have lied, I could have played dumb, but I didn't. I wanted her to know. I wanted her to know it was me. I leaned against the doorframe, crossed my arms, and said, "Oh, that thing." I threw it out. She just froze. Everything about her went still. "You, what?" "It was cluttering up the fridge," I said, trying to sound casual, like it was the most normal thing in the world. "Besides, I just thought you needed a little reminder of what's actually important. You were so focused on your little dinner party. I was worried you were forgetting about home." The look on her face. It wasn't anger, not at first. It was a deep, profound, soul-crushing confusion, like I had just started speaking a different language. You threw it out on purpose." "Don't be so dramatic, Holly. It's just a deadline." "It wasn't just a deadline, Raina." Her voice finally cracked, rising with hysteria. "It was the deadline, the final submission. Mr. Davies is presenting it to the board this morning. This was my one shot." She didn't cry, she didn't scream at me. She just deflated. All the fight, all the energy, just seeped out of her and puddled on the floor. She sank onto her messy desk chair and stared into space. The silence that followed was worse than any fight we'd ever had. A few days later, I came home from work, and her car was gone. Her room was stripped bare. The only thing she'd left behind was her old tablet, the one with the cracked screen she never used anymore. I picked it up, my hands trembling. I don't know why I did it. I guess I was just desperate for some kind of explanation, something other than the cold, formal note on the counter. Her password was the name of her childhood dog. Of course it was. There wasn't much on it, but there was a folder labeled journal, and inside, a single document. It was a draft of an email, addressed to a therapist. The subject line was, "Am I the crazy one?" And I read it. I read all of it. It was a catalog of 1,000 tiny cuts. Every forgotten promise, every late rent payment, every time I'd made her career feel small and my drama feel enormous. She wrote about the sweater incident. She wrote about how I'd eaten the special cupcakes her mom had sent for her birthday. It was all there, this long, invisible history of my carelessness. And then she wrote about Tuesday night. The last paragraph read, "And then I came home and the note was gone. She admitted she did it just to hurt me, to remind me what's important." And I finally realized. It's not the note. It's not even my job. It's the fact that in her world, my entire life, my career, my dreams, my feelings is just a prop. It's something she can pick up and break just to get my attention. It's the final, definitive proof that I am not her friend. I'm just her security blanket. And I think I'm finally ready to let her be cold. It took me 2 weeks. 2 weeks of calling her, texting her, leaving these pathetic, rambling voicemails that I'm sure she deleted without listening to. She blocked my number. She blocked me on everything. I was a ghost. Finally, I got a hold of our mutual friend, Jessica. I begged. I cried. I probably sounded completely unhinged. But I convinced her to set up a meeting. "Just 5 minutes, Jess. That's all I need. I have to make this right." She agreed to meet at a sterile, impersonal coffee shop downtown. The kind of place you go for a business meeting, not to salvage a friendship. When she walked in, my heart just plummeted. She looked different, calmer. She wasn't wearing any of the anger or hurt I expected to see. She just looked distant, like she was looking at a stranger. I launched right into it. The words just spilled out of me in a desperate, ugly rush. "Holly, I am so sorry. I was an idiot. I was a monster. I read your email on the tablet. I know I shouldn't have, but I did, and you were right. You were right about everything. The sweater, the cupcakes, all of it. I was a terrible friend. I was using you as a security blanket, and you were right to leave. But I see it now, I swear I do. I can change. Please just give me another chance." She just sat there, stirring her tea, not interrupting. She let me say it all, let me empty myself out completely. When I was done, breathless and crying, she finally looked up and met my eyes. There was no fire in them, no hatred, just a vast, quiet emptiness. "I hear you, Raina," she said, and her voice was so gentle it was brutal. "And I believe that you're sorry right now. I even forgive you." A wave of relief washed over me, so powerful it almost made me dizzy. "Oh, thank God, Holly." "But," She cut me off, still in that same, soft voice. I can't let you back into my life. The relief turned to ice in my veins. What? But you just said you forgive me. I do, she said, and she gave a small, sad shrug. But forgiving you is for me, so I don't have to carry all that anger around. It has nothing to do with you. I spent 4 years making your comfort my priority, and it almost destroyed me. I can't do it anymore. My peace is more important to me now than our friendship ever was. And that was it. She stood up, put a $10 bill on the table for her tea, and said, "Goodbye, Raina." She walked out of the coffee shop without looking back, leaving me there with her final, calm, devastating no. So now I'm here, back in the apartment that's too big for one person. It's funny, the things that haunt you. It's not the big stuff. It's the little moments of muscle memory. I was scrolling through my phone last night, saw this hilariously stupid video of a cat falling off a bookshelf, and I turned my head to the right, mouth open to say, "Holly, you have to see this." And of course, I was met with that empty, stupid yellow armchair, gathering dust in the corner. My voice just died in my throat. Or I'll go to the fridge to get a drink, and my eyes will automatically flick to that spot. The spot where the Post-it used to be. It's so clean now. Scrubbed clean. But to me, it's like it's been burned into the door. A perfect, pink, rectangular scar. It's a constant reminder of the silence. This crushing, heavy silence that she left behind. It's the sound of her absence. And I'm starting to think that this quiet, this endless, echoing quiet, this is my real punishment. It's the one thing I can't just throw away.